Hi guys and welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make fruitcakes two different ways using two of my recipes. So let's begin. So to start the first fruitcake, you'll want to place your butter, your light brown sugar and your black treacle into your mixing bowl. I'm using my stand mixing bowl, but feel free to use whatever you have. So once you've got everything ready, you can start to mix it on a low to medium speed, and once everything has started to come together, you can transfer that up to a medium-high speed. Once you can see everything has come together, you'll want to stop the mixer and scrape down the sides and the bottom of your bowl to incorporate any bits that may not have been fully worked in earlier on. So now you'll want to start adding the egg. I mix my eggs together so then I can add a little at a time, beating well in between each addition, ensuring that I don't scramble the mixture. If you do, don't worry, you'll be adding the dry ingredients next, but try and combat that by adding a little egg at a time. So next you'll want to sift in the dry ingredients, which is just the flour and the spices. I will leave all of the weights and measurements in the blog post, and there will be a link to that in the description down below. Just sift them together into the bowl. So start to incorporate the flour by mixing on a low speed and working your way up to a medium speed once some of that flour has been worked in, otherwise it'll all splash out and go everywhere. Once it's combined, you can turn your mixer down. Don't forget to give the bowl another scraping down just to incorporate any bits that have worked their way up the sides or have not worked in at the bottom. So the next stage is to add in the dried fruit, which is the raisin, sultanas, currants, mixed peel, glacier cherries, and the nuts. I use ground almonds, but feel free to use flaked almonds, and then mix it all together until it's well combined, being careful not to overmix at this stage. So then you'll want to divide the cake batter equally between your two tins. I've already weighed out my cake batter into another bowl and then split it equally between the two tins, and then level it off as best I can using an offset spatula. I will leave the baking times, temperatures, weights and measurements, everything you need to know on my blog, and there will be a link to that in the description down below. So after it's been baked in the oven, here is what the cake will look like. So the second cake has an unusual method of making it. You do require a saucepan and a heat source, which isn't usual for a fruitcake, but this is a different method. First you need to pour your water, your fruit, your butter, your spices and your light brown sugar into the saucepan and place it on a medium to high heat and allow it to come to the boil, and then simmer in it for a couple of minutes. So once everything has melted and come together, you will then want to allow it to cool for around 10 minutes, just so when you add the flour and eggs it isn't too hot. So here is what the mixture looks like once it's been allowed to cool for around 10 minutes. So next you'll want to sift in the dry ingredients, which are just the flour and the bicarbonate of soda, and then mix this in, being careful not to overmix. It's best to work in the flour with a wooden spoon or a silicone spatula. You can use either, they will both work well. And just be careful not to overmix, as this will toughen the gluten and make the cake tougher in texture. So next you'll want to add in the egg and just work this in using your spatula or wooden spoon just until it's fully incorporated. So next you'll want to divide the cake batter between your two prepared tins. I've just lined mine with some greaseproof paper, and I have weighed my mixture beforehand so I know how much to put into each tin, but feel free to eyeball this at this stage if it works well for you, and then level it off as best as you can. This one doesn't really need it, but you can still do it. And here is what this fruitcake looks like once it's fully baked. So onto each cake, before I wrap them, I poured a small amount of alcohol. You can use whiskey, brandy, port, whatever you've got really, or whatever you prefer. And I do this to all the cakes, then I wrap them and I leave them. And you can keep feeding the cakes with alcohol until you're ready to give them away, or to eat them. The alcohol is optional, so feel free not to do it and the cakes will be fine. So thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more from me. I'll be back next week with 3 videos on Monday, Wednesday and Friday as part of my Bakemas series, so join me then. So in the meanwhile, don't forget to watch previous years of Bakemas and catch up on my other videos. Let me know what you want to see. If you have any future suggestions for videos, leave them in the comments down below. Check out my social medias, check out my blog. I will leave all the links that you need in the description down below. And until next week, bye guys.